Hey guys, how's it going? Just coming into with another video here, and as usual, it's one of my spur of the moment ones. And I guess this video is going to be a bit of a follow up to what I said in my most recent update video, where I did talk about a particular subject, and a particular subject being the 2020 election. Um, and I guess I should probably stop delaying and all that. So here it is, I suppose. And this could also be a spur of the moment video inspired by the news that broke out that President Trump just announced that had COVID. Awesome. Not really, but I don't really think it's awesome. I hope he gets better, even though I'm opposed. I'm saying that just purely out of goodwill and principle. So yeah, so that sucks. Yeah, he and Melania. So yeah. Anyway, and how I feel about things, especially since and especially since we just had our most recent our first of three general debates in Cleveland. It was hosted by Chris Wallace, and I guess I'll kind of get throw this in there. Since I guess we're in 2020 election, so I didn't I was kind of keeping up with most of their YouTube, or what that's worth. I guess I was in another room. My parents and grandma were in the other room listening to it, so watching it rather. It's basically two old white dudes going at it. And both of them, more specific, are two different breeds of Republican. Basically, one of them is basically has a D next to his name. The other one is a reality show host. So like I guess who do I think won? I guess Biden. There were a couple of areas where that would hit Trump and all that. So and I guess I don't know. So yes. Um but yeah, but I guess with that debate and all that, and I guess with Biden being the Democratic nominee, how do I feel about that? Or always about how I feel about Biden nominee. Well, as mentioned, he's basically a diet Republican with the D next to his name. It's basically around to 2016, though, and to that, and with Biden being the nominee, to that, have to say he'd have to have a godsend on his side in order to emerge the victor. So I, I supported Bernie during primaries. And what I really find frustrating is how, just like the first time he ran, the system screwed him over. More specifically, Barack Obama. Uh, yeah, yeah, the Hope and Change guy is basically a corporate neoliberal centrist. Sure, some good things came out of his presidency, but in many other ways too, there was also continuation of the status quo, if not, and like he took us from two wars to seven. He his drone strikes had roughly 90% casualty list uh, in terms of civilians. He said he was going to close Gitmo. He didn't close Gitmo. He was waging war on whistleblowers. You know, hell, Edward Snowden rose to prominence under his presidency. So during it, rather, I'm sure you know what I mean. I guess. Sorry if I'm messing with my hair. Anyway, yeah, and just like Trump, he was selling weapons to the Saudis. Uh, so, so yeah, so sorry. So needless to say, yeah, in fact, he himself has even said that back in the 1980s, he'd be considered a moderate Republican. So he's, I guess, on that front, he's a very successful Republican president. And I think with the broken system we have, um, that led to the rise of guys like Trump. Uh, and I think what Trump did, of course, kind of used strategically. He tapped into the sort of a populist talk. He told people what they wanted to hear. That also had something to do with it, and why he was able to crush Hillary the way he did. Now, given what all we've seen of him in the last 4 years, I know, hey, we need to get that guy out of office. Okay, let's nominate someone who's actually got the strength to do so. Who would have been? Bernie. You know what Obama did? Um, on the eve of Super Tuesday, Bloody Monday, came back and shoved him in the back. What did he do? Uh, he called on the phone Amy Klobuchar, Mayor Pete, got them to drop out. Kamala Harris, who had not yet been chosen as VP, she came rose from the dead, endorsed him, endorsed. I'm saying Biden, by the way, endorsed Biden, as did Klobuchar and Buttigieg. Beto O'Rourke rose from the dead, endorsed him. Basically, he had corporate Democrats all coalesce behind Biden. So just we were this close. Like, um, let's put this as Orson Krennic from Rogue One said, we were so close to close, close to greatness. We were this close. Just when it looked like Bernie was going to run away with it. Oh no, Bernie, we're not going to let you do that. And with Biden, his campaign was pretty much on death's door until then. So that's where I can say, unironically, thanks Obama. Bernie should have been up there. He honestly should have been. We have a good chance of losing. We have a good chance of defeating Trump if that were the case. But now it's pretty much coin toss. And now, if I understand right, if the election were held today, he probably would run pretty decently. But just goes to show that we can't have nice things, And as far as elitist millionaires, billionaires, and all that, you need to vote for Trump. Uh, you need to vote for Biden, and if Biden loses, it's your fault. Oh, so it's our fault, the voter. That's the fault of us voters that we've got a broken system. It's our fault that the system yet again screwed over the one man that could have potentially defeated a right wing demagogue like Donald Trump. But no, it's somehow our fault. It isn't. You must be pretty damn privileged to be in a position to say that. If you blame the voters for the fault, or for something that's not their fault. Sure as hell isn't mine. That's for sure. Is it yours? I don't think so. And if it is, how so? It must have been my fault. When it comes to guys like myself, must have been the fault of guys like me because I've a third party last go around. Voted for Gary Johnson. But seeing as how I'm a committed lefty, looking at things now and look at what I believe now, maybe I should have voted for Jill Stein. I don't know. Um, but who am I going to vote for? I know in the video I did where I talked about Bernie dropping out, I myself said that I was not going to vote for Biden. I was going to vote third party. Since that time, it has kind of been on my mind. I have considered the idea of voting for Biden. I'm not going to lie, I have. And I'm speaking as Bernie's work. Um, Would I vote for him? You put a gun to my head and pick between him and Trump. I'd suck it up and vote for Biden. And are there any guarantees that I'll actually do so come November 3rd? I'm being honest. Well, I just might. I just might. Yeah, of course, you had to get Trump out of office. And and I guess if we're just going to throw policy into the mix, I know he was saying something like give them a public option and expand Obamacare. Because I'd rather have Medicare for all myself. But if I understand right, public option is probably the next best thing. So I guess okay, I'll take that. Now he's saying, well, finally, I hear Democrats are kind of leaning, going back on even that. So I'd rather have some people. I'd rather have people have some health care than none at all. I'd rather, fight. I'd rather fight for it in some way than not at all. I'd rather have the Green New Deal. You know, as far as foreign politics is concerned, Trump got us the Iran deal, which we should never have done. We should have stayed in that deal because that's actually a pretty kick-ass deal. Now that happened under the Obama administration, and Biden, of course, being VP, was instrumental in that. So I would, if he is elected, I would like, yeah, I'd like to get us back into that. So if he actually does that, awesome. So, and of course, too, when I want to vote for him, I want to vote for him based on the policy, not just do this single issue bullshit like get Trump out of office. Yeah, okay, give me something to vote for, not just vote against. You know, don't give me something like Medicare for all, tuition free college, living wage, ending the wars, um, fight for 15, UBI, Green New Deal. That's one of the things I want. You know, so and you tell me that people don't have a right to any of that, I have no idea how you could uh, think that. I really don't. Uh, I mean, seeing in this way, I say this especially since we're only modern nation doesn't have things like that, or if we do, it probably just barely. So, so I don't know. I have to wonder too. You look at some of these other candidates. Like we had Kamala Harris, who's of course our VP pick. We had Beto O'Rourke, um, Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang, Amy Klobuchar, Mayor Pete. You know, I'm Steyer, um, Mike Bloomberg, and, Liz Warren, uh, Cory Booker, and of course, the list goes on. At least in terms of Democrats, didn't have a whole lot of Republicans. And again, I guess, and Donald Trump is pretty much their golden child. So of course, there's no way in hell any Republican candidate would even come close to Trump. So, so I kind of have to wonder. And I'm just kind of curious here. Speaking as someone who supported Bernie, if for those who may have supported someone else, uh, uh, who was your pick? Why did you support them? What was so appealing about, like, for example, like with Kamala Harris being their our VP? What was about her that made you back her? Mayor Pete, what about him? Why'd you like that guy? And with Biden being the nominee, what was it about him? Just I got you know. So Bernie was my pick. Speaking of someone who supported him, what was it about? If he did not choose someone else, um, if you did not choose him, but someone else, what was it about your candidate, your pick, that you said, I like that person, I want them? So, so I don't know. And I guess with the Trump administration, as it's been, how do I feel about that? It's pretty much been an unmitigated disaster. So, I mean, and if he does anything worthwhile that feel like is worth of giving him props for, I will. Like, look at North Korea, for example. At first we were poking them with a stick, but now we've got at least a modicum of peace. And it's like, okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. You know, although to be fair, it is a little hypocritical because to the extent we have been able to make peace with them, it's virtually identical to the Iran deal, but somehow the Iran deal is not. It's bad. It's not. And that's probably only because it's got Obama's name on it. Not to mention his administration is packed with war criminals like Pompeo, Gina Haspel, John Bolton, even though he's no longer there. But just by itself, never mind any of that. Give him credit on North Korea to the extent that he is worth giving credit to him. And I guess you look at the First Step Act. I'll give him credit for that, although I should have gone further. Based on what little understanding I have of it, I guess. And he freed that one lady, Alice Johnson. Awesome, awesome. If he kept doing more good stuff like that, maybe he'd be a better president. And I can understand why some people may have voted for him and all that, like based on the populist rhetoric. But just, I'm just knowing how much of an unmitigated disaster it's been. How do you? I'm just curious. I'm not trying to vote or shit, and I'm making conscious effort not to, and I don't believe in that. I'm just really just kind of curious how. So just so just I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. In a world that made sense, he would never have made it past the primary. But he did, and look where we are now. And you look at Hillary Clinton. Um, you know, Trump was like the most beatable candidate you would ever come up with. She couldn't even do that, and she has to blame it on everyone but herself. It's her own fucking fault. Eh, You know, let's put it this way. You know who she blamed, right? Gary Johnson, Jill Stein, Bernie Sanders, Jim Comey, Vladimir Putin, Russia, sexism, emails, Bernie Bros. You know who she doesn't blame? Herself or the Democratic Party. And the thing is, her, if I understand, it's partly because of her that the whole Russia gate shit. You know, and of course, this whole Mueller report, which uh, I think, if based on if I'm understanding right, they were saying like that they couldn't find any evidence of collusion and all that, but that I think they did too. I don't know, uh, but I think they found that he did have some dealings with Russia um, in the past, at least before he was president. So to the extent I'm willing to believe in RussiaGate, maybe okay, sure. I guess if he has done business dealings with them, I guess where Putin would have um, would have uh, uh, excuse me, uh, something like that, then I guess I could see where all right, you owe me a favor, guy. But as far as the whole collusion shit, I don't know. To the extent that like if he is a Putin puppet, I don't know. But at the same time, you also have to wonder how do you believe this shit, especially since there might have been times like where he didn't has not. Uh, I know I'm just rambling and mumbling. Excuse me. But anyway, like if Trump is Putin's puppet, how is he able to? Why is he bombed Syria? Why has he armed Ukrainian rebels? Why has he placed ships near the Black Sea? Why has he slapped sanctions on them? Why did he put out the INF treaty? Why did he pull out of the Iran deal? Why would he try to have Germany nuke their oil deal with Russia and try to pick one up with us? Why would Putin go against his own self-interest? Is what I'm saying. And why would he have his own do so through his own puppet? I don't know. You tell me. If I'm missing something, I don't know. So I guess with all that said, I'm those are my some of my thoughts on Paradise. As said, I was playing election, but I'm also just rambling. And it's a little bit about that, and even more so, it's about my thoughts on our current state of affairs in general. So I'm not trying to be deceptive with my titling of my video, and but it is what it is. So I guess with all that said, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think, and I also apologize for stuttering a little bit. So yeah, and I guess with all that said, and I'll probably remember it's probably going to be something I forgot to say right now, but I'll probably remember it later. So this happened plenty of times. But anyway, I guess with all that said, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.